In this session, I'm going to show you the different types of trading we will be teaching you, which you will be able to trade on your ProTrader SA platform. Now, essentially, we teach two different types or categories of trading. The first category being equities trading, and this is where you are buying and selling shares or equities or exchange traded funds, where you're actually taking ownership of a shareholding or a small part of the company or the group of companies that you are trading in. Now, when you are trading equities, when you are buying the actual share or the equity, you are actually trading it upwards. The share price has to go up for you to make money. If the share price goes down, you're losing money. Now, of course, you don't realize those gains or losses until you've sold the shares and banked the money. And so this is a longer term perspective that you're looking at when you are buying the actual underlying share. And people hold shares for months or years or even decades, where they are holding the share of the company for a longer term perspective. So that's the equities trading. And then we also teach you derivatives trading. That's the second type of trading. Now, under this category, we have what we call equity or share CFDs. And I'm going to explain the words contracts for difference in a slide or two. So we've got equities or share CFDs. We've got commodity CFDs that you can trade, index CFDs, FOREX CFDs, and cryptocurrency CFDs. Now, this is where, when you're trading the derivative, it is where you are trading on the price of the share or the price of the commodity without taking physical or taking ownership of the commodity. Now, initially when I was introduced to CFDs, I said, you know, I'd rather own the share. I'd rather, this is a little bit in the air where I'm trading on the price without owning the commodity or the share. But the person introducing me to this said to me, he said, yes, he can understand why I would feel more comfortable actually owning the share. But actually trading the derivative where you're not owning the share opens the door to certain things that you can do with the derivative that you cannot do with the normal equities trading. The one being that if you are trading the derivative, you can earn income in both upward and downward trending markets, which essentially means that you are doubling your opportunity to trade the market. You don't have to wait for the share price to recover before you trade. You can trade it downwards and upwards, which I'll explain in further videos. And then the other thing that makes them very popular is that derivatives are geared or leveraged products. And it's an aspect that makes them very, very popular for the smaller investor. So those two things we will be looking into, but I just want to go through each one of them very, very quickly. So what are equity CFDs or contracts contracts for difference? Now, as I said earlier on, contracts for difference is exactly the same as buying and selling the equity or the share, except in the case of CFDs, you are trading on the share price without owning the share. And this is what opens the door to the fact that you can earn income in both upward and downward trending markets, as well as the leveraging benefit. And so that is equity CFDs. Then we've got commodity CFDs. Now, what is a commodity? Well, basically it's a raw material or agricultural product that can be bought and sold. And some of the examples are gold, platinum, coffee, oil. And so you can trade on the oil price without moving barrels of oil. You can trade on the gold price without having to physically handle the gold. And so this has opened the door to people like yourself and myself with amazing opportunities to be able to trade with not the physical but the derivative. Derivative means it derives its price from the underlying asset, and I can trade on the price without moving the actual commodity. Index CFDs, on the other hand, is a very, very popular, and it's becoming more and more popular method of trading. A stock index. What is a stock index? Well, it's a group of shares that are used to give an indication of the performance of a sector or of an exchange or of an economy. You've probably heard of the banking sector, you've heard of the mining sector, you've heard of the retail sector. Now those when they want to measure the performance of those different sectors of an economy, they categorize, they put those, all of the banks, for instance, they put it in a basket, and they measure the performance of the group of banks by measuring the basket. And those are not what we call tradable indexes, but they are indices, and they are to measure the economy. But through the derivatives market, you can trade the bigger indices, the ones that are to do with the whole of the stock exchange of that particular country. For instance, you can trade the All Share Index, the ALSI, which is basically the top 40 companies on the local Johannesburg Stock Exchange, that you can trade that index or that basket of shares of companies. You can trade a number of them. You can trade the US 30, which is the Dow Jones, which is the top 30 industrial companies on the New York Stock Exchange. You can trade the S&P 500, that's the Standard & Poor 500, which is the top 500 companies on the stock exchange in the US. You can trade the UK 100, which is the FTSE, that's the London Stock Exchange, the top 100 companies on that stock exchange. The DE 30, which is the DAX, the German Stock Exchange in Frankfurt, where you can trade those top 30 companies. Now, how they start an index is basically, if you look at the South African situation years ago, they started made the top 40 a tradable index. So they started the index at, they put the top 40 companies in a basket, and they started the measurement of the basket at 10,000 points. Now, you can say it's 10,000 rands, but it's not really, it's just 10,000 points. It's not $10,000, it's not anything else, it's just 10,000 points. And say the share price of the group of 40 companies went up by 1% in the first day. That would mean that the ALSI number would go up to 11,000. Next day it went up another 1%, then it would be 12,000. And you can trade those points at 1 rand a point, or 5 rand a point, or 20 rand a point, or whatever your current your account, your trading account will allow you. So this is a very popular method of trading, is index trading as well. And then forex trading. Forex is the foreign exchange is the trading of one currency against another at an agreed exchange price. And there are a number of currency pairs that are offered through our system. You can trade the US dollar against the rand, or the US dollar against the Canadian dollar. You can trade the euro against the pound, or the euro against the US dollar. Number of them. I've just listed a couple here. And so we teach you how to trade forex as well. You know, our focus is actually to teach you how to trade. Once you know how to trade, then of course you can trade literally anything. And so we teach you how to trade, and these categories of trading you can involve yourself in. And then the last one is the cryptocurrency trading. Now, this is exactly the same as buying and selling cryptocurrency, except in the case of the crypto CFD, you are trading on the currency prices without owning, so to speak, the currencies. And some of the currencies that we offer are they've listed over there. There are about 18 of them at the moment, and always increasing. So that is derivatives trading. And Velocity Trade, our brokers, they offer different types of trading. I'm just going to go through them again. They offer a number of different types of trading from their ProTrader platform. You can buy and sell shares on the ProTrader platform. You can trade equity CFDs on a different nationally and internationally. So you can trade all the local companies. They won't let you trade a startup company or anything like that. They have to be pretty liquid. In other words, you have to be able to enter and exit the trade without worrying about liquidity, and without worrying about whether there'll be another buyer or a seller on the other side of your transaction. So it's normally very highly liquid companies that they allow you to trade CFDs, but you can trade local companies and you can trade international companies as well. I've got clients who are trading Twitter CFDs or Facebook CFDs or Microsoft CFDs, which you can do from the ProTrader platform. And then you can also trade index CFDs from the ProTrader platform. You can trade commodity CFDs, and you can trade FOREX CFDs, and just haven't put in the crypto CFDs. But those are all the CFDs that you can trade, and then you can access your ProTrader platform in a number of ways. The first way is, and I prefer it to all the others really, is the desktop application, which has the most functionality. It's a Windows desktop application where you can trade it from there, or if you've got a computer that doesn't use Windows, you can trade from any web browser, and then also you can trade from your Android phone or your your Android and your Apple device. And yeah, so that's CFDs. Those are the type of trading that we offer. We will go into a little bit more detail as to what it means to trade the markets upwards and downwards, as well as what leverage means. So we'll chat in the next video. Thanks very much. Hope you enjoyed it.